Welcome to another episode of Geekoutdoors.com. And on this episode, I wanted to quickly talk about my thoughts on the just recently announced Motorola Droid Turbo 2 and the Droid Maxx 2. Now, typically on the Droid line of phones, which is an agreement between Verizon and Motorola, basically it's just a rebranded Motorola phone. And I kind of thought that was what was going to happen with the Droid Turbo 2. It was just going to be a rebranded Moto X Pure. But that's actually not the case. They've actually made some improvements to the Moto X Pure. So let's go right into the specs. First and foremost, the screen is different. The Motorola Turbo 2 has a 5.4-inch WQHD AMOLED panel, which is different from the 5.7-inch QHD LCD panel that comes in a Moto X Pure. And whether or not you like that better than the LCD is really up to your preferences. Normally, the AMOLED screens, they do produce punchier colors. The blacks are deeper, plus it does better at conserving battery life. And the LCDs usually excel at color accuracy. So whether or not that's a plus depends on what your preferences are. Second up is the processor. They've actually bumped up the processor to the top of the line Snapdragon 810 processor. The Moto X Pure actually has a Snapdragon 808 processor. And the amount of RAM is still the same. It has a 3 gigs of RAM, but the battery life has actually been bumped up to 3,760 milliamps versus the 3,000 milliamps on a Pure. And so this will give you about 48 hours of mixed usage. Now, in terms of the camera, it's the same camera. And also, in terms of the turbocharging, it's there as well. Now, the biggest improvement on the Turbo 2 versus the Pure is the brand new shatterproof screen. This is a new 5-layer screen system, including reinforcements that assure that this phone is shatterproof for day-to-day use. And I saw some videos online of testing this durability, and it's pretty amazing. Especially, I think there was some CNET videos where they were just really testing it. And in one test, they actually had a horse step on top of it. Now, it did dent the screen, but it did not shatter. And I think this is an awesome piece of tech. I hope it comes to other phones as well. And the second phone that came out was the Droid Maxx 2. And basically, the Droid Maxx 2 is just a rebranded Moto X Play phone, which is not released in the US, but is available in other territories, such as Canada. So, all of these things considered, they do sound awesome. But would I buy one? No. And here's why. First and foremost, pretty much all Verizon phones, they put a crap load of bloatware, some of which you cannot remove. And there's also Amazon bloatware there as well. And normally what this is going to do, number one, it's annoying. And number two, it's going to slow down your phone. That's no matter how strong these processors are, eventually it's just going to slow it down. Okay. And secondly, since it is a Verizon phone, they've been notorious for very, very slow updates to software, specifically Android software. So it does come shipped with Android 5.11, which is the latest version of Android Lollipop. But they said it might get an update to Marshmallow, but in terms of when they'll do that, it's anybody's guesses. And so another thing which is aesthetic, to me, it just looks ugly. Doesn't have the smooth curves that the Moto X Pure does. Now, it does come with Moto Maker, but it's like a very limited version of Moto Maker, and you can't customize as much as you can the Moto X Pure. And also, finally, let's come to the price. The Moto Droid Turbo 2 Unlocked is $700. That is like flagship territory. And then the Moto Droid Maxx 2 actually comes out at $385 unlocked. Now, the $385, it sounds reasonable until you look at the price of the Moto X Pure, which is unlocked. It's a world phone. It has no bloatware, and it starts at $399. So my money is going to be on the Moto X Pure, and looking at it, I think that is definitely going to be my next phone. So that's a quick recap of the announcements today of the Motorola Droid Turbo 2 and the Motorola Maxx 2. Let me know your thoughts on it. Like it, don't care. Leave your comments below. And if you like these videos, be sure to subscribe. And if you want to see the whole written article, be sure to head to Geekoutdoors.com. And I'll see you outside on the very next episode.